Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. I want to take a moment to wish a happy Father's Day to all the fathers that are out here in the community. Now, I'm not just talking about the guys who have made a child. I'm not talking about all the guys who know how to use their penis. I'm not talking about all the guys who know how to make a baby. Because anybody who knows anything about fatherhood knows that making a baby isn't the same as being a father. The people that I want to wish a happy Father's Day to are the fathers in the community, the godfathers, the ones who are looking out for their own people, the ones who will feed a child that they see on the street that needs some food to eat, or will protect a little girl who needs to be protected from all the predators that are out here in the world. I'm talking about the real men who stand up for Black folks. I'm talking about the real men who love Black women, the men who do all they can to keep their family together. I'm talking about all the men who understand how important family is for the strength and survival of our people. Put a hashtag B1 in the chat. And also, I want everybody to do me a quick little favor, if you could. I want you to think of a man that you know who represents the essence of fatherhood. I want you to type in the chat the name of a man that you know who was a father for you. I want you to put the name of a man that you've seen stand up for his people. I want you to put the name of a man who has been a father to children that were not his own. I want you to put a name in the chat of all the men who hold it together for Black folks, the real men in our community. I want you to put that man's name in the chat right now so that they can get the honor and the respect that they deserve. The man that raised me, the man who is my father, is a man by the name of Larry Watkins. Larry is a great man. He's a Vietnam vet. He's a very tough man. He's overcome a lot in his life. He's made a lot of mistakes, but I learned a lot from his mistakes because he always told me what to do and what not to do. And I had a talk with my father today. I talked to Larry Watkins on the porch at my birthday party. Today was my birthday also, and it's Father's Day. And we were talking about manhood. We were talking about fatherhood. We were talking about what it means to be a dad, what it means to be a father, what it means to be the head of a family. And I was listening to my father speak and listening to his values and listening to him reflect on his life. And I listened to him reflect on the good things he did and the bad things he did. And I said, I said, I know that sometimes you feel guilt for anything you've done in your life that wasn't up to snuff, anything you've ever done where you had did what you had to do. He was in the streets a little bit. My father's made some mistakes. He doesn't hide that fact. But I said one thing you got to understand is that sometimes there's a little bit of a difference between being a good man and a great man. I said, now I don't know if you were always a good man. I don't know that. I can't say that for sure. But I do know that you were always a great man. And he said, well, explain that. And I said, well, think about this. I thought about all the friends I grew up with. I had a group of cousins and friends that I spent every weekend with. Almost every single one of those people ended up dead, on drugs, in prison, struggling and broke, or whatever the case may be. And my sister and my brother and I were the only ones who escaped that trap. And so, what a father does is a father defends and protects, just like just like the person who says, like Regina says, I've lost respect for you. Well, fuck you, Regina. You can get the fuck off my channel right now. So, because I'm defending the integrity of this channel. So everybody say goodbye to Regina because Regina is not invited to ever come back again. So goodbye, Regina. Just make it clear. A strong father is a person who defends what is his. A strong father is a person who will stand up for a Black woman. A strong father is a man who says, you ain't messing with my kids. You ever wonder why all these little girls in the hood are getting molested? It's because you've lost respect for the father. You've lost respect for the importance of a man being a part of a household. You've lost respect for what men bring to the table that can't be replicated by a woman. No differently from the way I can't replicate what my wife does in the household. She can't replicate me. And also, you've lost the respect among men for what it means to come into a household. My father talked about when he married me and married my mother at the same time. He said, I met you. Your mother was the most beautiful woman in the world. and I saw you and I said, I want to marry that woman. And he also said, that's going to be my son. He became a stepdaddy. And it's astonishing to me that you have certain men that think somehow that being a stepdaddy is a simp. Well, let me tell you about these men who say these things. Let me tell you about these men, because I know these men. I know a lot of them. I know how they think. Men like that are men who are flimsy and weak. Many of these men have self-esteem issues because they grew up with a single mother that they hate to this day. They're mad at her because their daddy was never around. And the reason that they think that no man in his right mind would take responsibility for somebody else's children is because nobody took the time to care about them. No man ever took the time to come into the household and say, I'm running this thing. I'm going to make sure these kids are okay. I'm doing God's work right now by making sure that this family is protected. They never saw a man do that. So in their mind, they're thinking, well, this is hard work. It's hard work being dependent upon. It's hard work having to come through for other people. It's hard work having children that need you and knowing that you got to come through for them no matter what. That's hard work. So the men who think that way, unfortunately, are the men who don't want to do the hard work. These are not the men that are going to lead the black community into the future. These are the men who might make the babies, but they're not going to take care of them. These are the men who will just sort of exist, but they're not powerful men, because a man that is powerful is a man who's willing to take on responsibility. It is a man that people can depend on, is a man who will defend and protect children and women at all costs. So I want to give a shout out to the fathers. I want to say thank you to every father out here, and say the name of your own father. If you had a real father, and if I don't see a lot of names, that'll tell me that tells me what the problem is. If you had a father that stood up for you when nobody else did, put that man's name in the chat. If you had a football coach who stepped in as a father figure for you and held it down for you when nobody else did, put that man's name in the chat. If you had a stepfather that stepped up when your real father wasn't around, put that man's name in the chat. If you had a biological father who did what he was supposed to do, which unfortunately certain men don't do that, we know this, put that man's name in the chat. And I want you to give that man his respect, because it's tough to be a father out here in the world where fatherhood has basically been abandoned by certain people. There are some men and women who just don't think fathers matter, who really don't think that children deserve to have both parents. They really have gotten to the point where they think that the woman is the mother and the father right now. You got women who think that way, and you got men who think that way. So I just want to say thank you very much to the real fathers in the world. That was on my heart. That was on my mind. I had my birthday today, and my kids came by and they wished me happy Father's Day, and that was really awesome. I have a lot of adopted kids. I love the fact that I've been able to adopt children through the years. I was a track coach. A couple of my kids, I met them when I was a track coach, and I never let them go. I have children in the household that were there before I arrived. That's a wonderful feeling to be the head of a household, and I want to encourage everybody out here to just know that there are people that appreciate you, because I know that fatherhood is tough. And for those of you that are having a tough time with it, don't follow the culture. Don't follow the culture, because what you're dealing with in the black communities, you're dealing with a fatherless community. That's why you see so many people who don't appreciate what fathers do. That's why you see so many women who think that they can be the mother and the father. You got mothers looking for Father's Day cards, and then you got men who don't want to be fathers, who just think that fatherhood is whack, who don't want to take care of anybody's kids, even their own. So congratulations. Shout out to all of you who are holding down for the black community. You are my hero. Everybody else that doesn't fit that category, I feel sorry for you. And I hope that one day somebody shows you what a real man looks like. So have a good night, everybody. I'll see you soon. Take care. Peace.